What do you say we try some of the local fare? I'm famished.
Yeah.
Over here. I just need a moment of your time. You stopped. Amazing. The adept that helped return Ivea to Nirn. Sorry. Vanus Galarian himself asked me to find you. We have a bit of a predicament. The Archmagister asked that I not say too much in earshot of my guildmates. Let's just say it's a magical anomaly. Untamed power from an unknown source. Plenty to catch a mage's interest, but that's just the trouble. It could be highly dangerous. For now, power draws mages like moths to a flame. We're a little hopeless that way. Votary Nalia, a knight from the Order of the Lamp, is on the scene. She needs someone to help her explore this anomaly and assess the danger. What do you say? Excellent! The anomaly is in an old complex called Sunamir, beneath the Sunhold Mages Guild. Good luck. Hopefully the rest of us won't be far behind you. Take my word for it, she's one of our best. Professional, highly focused, a tad overworked, maybe. Some say knights in the Order of the Lamp are just failed mages. Those people haven't met Nalia. She's got an incredible aptitude for portal magic. Taught me everything I know. She'd have made a fine adept if she didn't love that sword so much. At least, I think she loves it. She's hard to read these days. Very focused on work, like I said. They fill many roles, often acting as bodyguards for powerful members or guardians of ancient magics. There aren't many knights in the Order, especially compared to the number of mages in the guild. The standard for knights inducted into the Order soar higher than Kapora Tower. We don't just take anyone who can swing a blade. Especially these days. Precious little, I'm afraid. They broke through an old wall to get at it. Votary Nalia can fill you in on the details, but I heard one of the other knights mention it's old, deep magic. Makes sense, given the age of Sunamir. No, Sunamir predates the founding of the Mages Guild by, 1,000 years or so. It's an ancient library, I think. Lots of dusty tomes and some esoteric stories from all across Tamriel. Take my word for it, she's one of our best. Professional, highly focused, a tad overworked, maybe. Some say knights in the Order of the Lamp are just failed mages. Those people haven't met Nalia. Other knights throw around honorifics like Sir and Dame. It's like that, a way for members to distinguish themselves. It speaks to their vows to the Order and to their role as a light to defend the guild. Nalia and the others are inside. Stay safe in there.
Ah, good. You must be our backup. A nod came through.
Magnus, watch over you, Nalia. We'll keep watch out here.
Right. Lead the way, traveler. The door just down the hall here. Mind your step. This place is a bit of a mess thanks to that portal. Now that we have a moment, allow me to introduce myself. Nalia, Votary Knight in the Order of the Lamp. I know of your impressive work for the Guild, of course. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Ernard briefed you on our situation? That's exactly right. I'm quite proficient with portals, you see. This was my first time patrolling here in Sunamir, filling in for a friend. I sensed a portal through the wall back there, and when we broke through... well... I mean, I tried. There used to be a lot more wall back there. The portal didn't like me trying to go through one bit. Raw magical energy came bursting out. I'm just lucky I wasn't scraped up too bad. This portal is old magic, keyed to require 2 people to enter at the same time. I think. That's where you come in. I'll see if I can stabilize it, then we go through together. Do you have any questions before we head in? Here we go. It's happening again! Brace yourself! That blast reawakened some latent magic in here. Look around while I get this thing under control. Watch out! Lots of old notes down here.
And all this books that would a location to meditate on. I need a little more time.
An illusion? It seems distorted. This thing's as stable as I can make it. Let's head in before another surge of magic. Good to know I was right about the portal. Let's figure out where we are and find the source of all this unstable magic.
Well, no, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should try that.
This architecture is elven. It must still be near Somerset. All these defenses meant to protect what?
Like your arm.
Do you feel that surge of magic? We're getting close. Whatever's causing this, I think it's in the next room. Come on! Magnus, where are we? What is this place? This place is incredible. We'll have to explore when we're not in mortal danger. All this unstable magic seems to be flowing from those doors to the altar. Ah, see? You took the words right out of my mouth. Close the doors if you can. I'll see what I can do to stabilize the focusing crystal on the altar. I'll handle things here. Shut those doors.
To seek me out.
It's been too long since someone basked in my presence.
Hello? Oh no, is someone there?
Humans ascend the star-parked night. Wanna land?
Adventurer! I need you up here, now!
idea I've ever had.
Meddlers, thieves, what have you done to my altar?
We were just trying to calm things down. Who in oblivion are you?
This is a fine way to wake after centuries of restless slumber. Did she send you? You're not at all what I was promised. It wasn't enough to break in, you had to smash the altar too. You may call me the Crow. This is the Scalarium and... I see now. She didn't send you. If she had, your knight wouldn't have smashed the altar's focusing crystal. I suppose, if you meant true harm, you could have done much worse. We'll need a new crystal to act as a focus for the altar. Procure one and... pin feathers. I suppose it's the only way. We'll have to try. This altar focuses power to shape the very heart of magic itself. If we're going to get things under control, I'll need to talk you through the rite of scribing. But first things first, there should be an old focus or two in the East Wing. Hurry! The East Wing should still have a replacement crystal boxed up somewhere. Don't let the Scalarium's defenses stand in your way. Hurry now! We'll have all the time in the world to talk after the magic here is quelled. If the altar isn't stabilized, our conversation options will be very limited, because we will be dead.
I'll hang back. That blast took a lot out of me.
Good. Bring the crystal to the altar. Place it in the empty locus. If we are to quell this magic, we must focus it into a new creation. Place your hands on the altar. This is the scribing altar. Make this grimoire your own. Magic of the Scalarium is calmed. Well done. Let's talk about what comes next.
Hang on. What just happened?
done. The altar is quiet, and for the first time in centuries, Scribing has returned to Tamriel. It's clear Ulfsild did not send you, but I believe she would be quite proud of you just the same. Archmage Ulfsild the Evergreen? Warrior Witch of Kyne's Aegis? Clever woman of the Druidoc? The Pale's priestess of Juno? She created the Scalarium and perfected the art of scribing. Like a ray of sunlight from Magnus himself. Yes, scribing is an art developed by Archmage Ulfsild in collaboration with powerful beings. Spirits, if you like. They are called the Luminaries of Magic, and you, adventurer, are going to seek them out. To inherit Ulfsild's legacy, to make your mark on spellcraft itself. The Luminaries wait beyond these beautiful sealed doors. If you're willing, I will guide you on the path of scribing. I will take you under my wing. There is a world of magic beyond your mortal ken, adventurer. With the Luminaries at your side, there is nothing you cannot accomplish. Speak to your knight. Consider my offer. There is much to be done, but it will be good to flex my feathers again. Like a flock moving across the sky, scribing twists and turns in the wind. It was an art form, a discipline, and a life's work. And as she got to know the Luminaries, it became a collaboration with her very best friends. Ulfsild saw the world differently. She could literally see magic, watch as it spiraled in ribbons across the world. As she grew up and formally learned to cast spells, it gave her a perspective on magecraft no one else had. Yes. She hoped that with proper technique and a sufficiently powerful focus, anyone could develop the same relationship with magic she had. She spent the work of lifetimes pursuing that dream, and never quite saw her work bear fruit. Most spells and skills are time-honored traditions. Reliable, consistent. But they lack artistry, require nothing from the caster beyond a basic understanding of how magicka flows. I described scribing as an art because it requires artistry. Yes, that's a good way to look at it. Grimoires are spells and skills built from the ground up with artistry. No one would claim they're the most efficient, most reliable workings. But they're far more flexible than the average magecraft. Ha! You've got it! You can paint a picture with many different brushes, many different colors, can you not? Scribing allows a talented hand to do the same with magic, crafting a spell or skill in just the artistic fashion you want. Ulfsild's innate gift to see magicka brought with it a lifetime of lived experiences not easily transferred to others. So she developed the art of shaping magic via ink, parchment, and quill. What was missing was raw mystical strength. In so many ways, scribing hinges upon the borrowed power of the Luminaries, channeled through the altar. With their power flowing to the focus at the heart of the Scalarium, a mage is able to do incredible, ineffable acts of creation. And I have questions for you. It's been so long since I've spoken to someone like this. I'll spare you my interrogation. I'll learn more about you as you follow the path of the Luminaries. We are beneath an island called Ivea. In ages past, Ivea was a sanctuary for magic, founded by Ulfsild's husband, Archmagus Shalador. I am caretaker to this space, Ulfsild's familiar, set to watch over it when the island was lost. Impressive, and well-timed. The Mad God's discovery of the Scalarium would have been catastrophic. I felt the shift when Ivea returned to Nirn, but had no idea what called it home. I can think of no one better suited to inherit Ulfsild's legacy. Has all record of her accomplishments been lost? Not a footnote remains of her life and deeds? Her discovery of the Luminaries began long before she met and wed Archmage Shalador. though their collaboration would encompass the work of a lifetime. She did. I'm saddened and surprised. They were very much in love. They always knew they would not see the end together, but I doubt either of them expected things would end like that. Shalador was one of the greatest mages to walk the face of Nirn. He planned to live until the Aedra themselves wrested him from this world. But Ulfsild didn't want to live forever. She wanted to leave behind a legacy. Now, thanks to you, she will. They are beings of pure magic, hence their name. Utterly unique, like beams of light emanating from the face of Magnus himself. Each has chosen a shape that suits their personality, following goals and interests entirely of their own choosing. Ask each luminary what they are, where they came from, or how they came to be, and they'll each give you a different answer. My suggestion is that you meet them, learn all you can, and decide the answer to that question for yourself. As they themselves once taught Ulfsild. Yes, the luminaries understand magic in a way mortals never could. Their power, freely given, will allow you access to arcane mysteries others could only dream of.
I've been a knight in the Order for years, Traveler, and I've never heard of anything like this. A lost art of shaping magic, an ancient library, and these luminaries. This is incredible. Hopefully you'll learn exactly what a luminary is while you're at it. I'm lucky you were here, Traveler. My magic is so specialized. With that altar, who knows what else you'll learn to do? What sort of spells and skills you'll create? Well, I need to report in. Tell the head of my order what's happened and get guidance from the Archmagister. If you're asking my advice, why not stay here? Talk more with the Crow and see if you can start to walk this path she mentioned. A patrol to last a lifetime. I brought you in to help with an unstable portal, and look at everything we've done. Explored an ancient library, met a talking crow, and apparently revived an ancient form of magic. Can't wait to see what happens next. I have no idea how I'm going to explain this to the head of my order. This will be a long and entertaining conversation. In the meantime, you have a feathered scholar to speak with. You passed some of my trusted associates when we entered Sunamir. I want them tasked to investigate and catalog what we find. In the meantime, you're our resident expert on scribing. You need to learn everything you can. You couldn't be more right. What are the luminaries? How do they relate to this lost art of scribing? We have more questions than answers. Luckily, we also have you. Give the Crow my regards, Traveler. I'm a touch nervous to bring this to the Votary Commander and Archmage Galerion. This is going to come as quite a surprise. And those two hate surprises. I'll be fine. Probably. Of course. We really jumped into the boggy end of the swamp together, didn't we? Answering a few questions is the least I can do for the world's foremost expert on scribing. My plan is to bring in Ernard, who opened the portal for you, as well as Laren and Julian. You passed them back in Sunamir. And Chronicler Ferandil. He'll be invaluable here and can keep the other three in line. Votary Laren and I have gotten each other out of more scrapes than I can count. Julian is sour as a plum, but she's one of the smartest people I know. And Ernard doesn't look like much, but he cuts through guild politics like a spell-forged blade. Ferandil is... well, he's not much fun at parties. But put him in front of a stack of moldy old tomes and he'll have them organized, cataloged, and analyzed faster than you can say Eye of Magnus 3 times fast. Oh, me? Not much to tell, really. I grew up in a guild family. My mother was an adept, and my father was a researcher back in Eldenroot. I started off sort of following in the family business, but Most magic just kind of eludes me. Yeah, swords always made more sense to me than spells. Portals and I get along great, something about how they come together, like a good riddle. But most magic and I just don't get along, much to my father's chagrin. Each knight takes a solemn vow to protect the Mages Guild, its members, and its goals. When we're available, we also go in first to deal with situations like this, trying to assess the unknown before letting the adepts get their hands dirty. There aren't many votaries in the Order right now, part of why I joined up. I tried the adept's life before that. Being a lamp knight suits me better, even if I still get called on for my portal magic just as much as before.
I'm glad you've chosen to stay, Interloper. The path to Master Scribing is not an easy one, but its rewards are innumerable. Your knight appears to be leaving. Did I ruffle her feathers with my cause? A guild of mages? Fascinating, but a topic for another conversation. Let's stay focused. Ulfsild prepared for the day that someone would follow in her footsteps. She left behind resources, notes, and information for her eventual inheritor. What I want is immaterial. The luminaries will dictate your future as a scriber of grimoires, an editor of spells. That said, I am Ulfsild's familiar. I can guide your early steps, get you flying in the right direction. Where you perch is up to you. Ulfsild left a number of echoes, instructional illusions, scattered throughout the library. Their aim is to guide you through the process of contacting the luminaries, making allies of them once again. There's one just behind you. See for yourself. The echo at the base of the altar is just one of many. Much of the Scalarium's knowledge has been lost to time. But if Magnus wills it, Ulfsild's preparations should be enough to see us through. Fly back to me when you have followed Ulfsild's instructions.
If you are seeing this, the Crow has set you on the path to learn the art of scribing. A world of magic awaits you. I've left behind another sort of guide, the True Sight Lens. Seek it out in the East Wing. The lens and the fables are signposts to seek the luminaries, and they will teach you far more than I ever could. If you are seeing this, the Crow has set you on the path to learn. I made this lens so you might see the world as I do. The very warp and weft of magic laid out before me. A look through the lens will allow you to see impressions left behind by the luminaries. Follow these signposts, and you will find their domains.
You found the lens. It will be your most important tool in tracing a path to the luminaries. Merely holding the lens will attune you to the flow of magic. You will begin to see focal points, impressions left behind by these mystical beings. It's quite simple. Stand in one and peer through the lens. Hidden magics in many forms will be revealed to you. Doors, glyphs, even secrets layered within tomes. But here, enough talk. Let's begin. Gather your feathers about you. Nearby you will see a focal point and the Fable of the Indrik. Read the book, then step into the focal point. Peer through the lens, and you'll see the tome in an all-new light. Ulfsild's secrets are all around us. You need only know where to look. Read the Fable of the Indrik, then use the lens and re-examine the tome. You'll see what I mean. Ulfsild created the True Sight lens as she developed the art of scribing. From a young age, she could see magic in a way few others could. This intuitive understanding of magic was what led her to the luminaries, and inspired scribing itself. Seeing and understanding are two different things, interloper. The lens was a tool, a high branch to give her a bird's eye view of impressions left behind by the luminaries. From a very young age, Archmage Ulfsild found she could see the current of magic as it flowed across Nirn. Faintly at times, more strongly in others. A rare and precious gift, one granted by Magnus himself, no doubt. Seeing and understanding are two different things. Now enter the focal point and peer through the lens. You will see what was unseen in the fable. Ulfsild's annotations will tell you where you need to go. You've seen the hidden annotations then, and you know where you are going? You should be able to follow those annotations in sequence, leading you from location to location. Just like the hunter in the fable, you seek the Indrik now. Let Ulfsild be your guide. As this is your first time, I will accompany you into the field. Not everything you need to know is on the page. I will teach you how to break the luminary wards and retrieve key fragments to enter the Indrik's domain. I'll meet you at the Lady's Standing Stone in Oradon. How nice it'll be to really stretch my wings again. Indeed. Ulfsild gathered hundreds of tomes in her search for these tales. A small handful of her annotated volumes will be needed to find the luminaries. Beyond the Indrik, you will seek them out in whatever order you choose. Ulfsild felt a kinship with him. He was the first of the luminaries to ally with the Archmage, and the first to commit his power to the altar. If any of these unorthodox beings are still loyal to Ulfsild, I felt he would be the one. Tilt your head, and think of the altar as the heart of the Scalarium. Without it, the library would simply be a graveyard of tomes. A lifeless shell filled with old knowledge and stories of the past. What makes that heart beat? What gives it life? Yes. Before the doors were sealed, the Indrik, Netch, Dragon, and Griffin fed the altar their strength. Now the heart of the Scalarium struggles to beat, and without that beating heart, your mastery of scribing will stagnate. Ah, there's the trick. We don't. Ulfsild underwent trials to prove her worth, to gain their trust. But that was lifetimes ago. All we can hope to do now is find the luminaries and remind them of their promise to Ulfsild. The rest is up to you. we are, where the fabled chase began. Ah, what a flight! I almost didn't want to land. But, to business. The Luminaries are beings of great power. Each has a domain they have shaped to their choosing. Each domain has a door, and each door, of course, has a key. As I said in the library, let the fable be your guide. We are here at the Lady, the first annotated location in the fable. Just as you did back at the Scalarium, peer through the true sight lens within a focal point. Magic wards left behind by the Indrik. A trio of these wards hide a fragment of his key. Once revealed, these wards can be dispelled from a distance. Clear them all, and the key fragment will be revealed. Don't worry, I'll help you find it. If the Luminaries share one trait, it's a love of a challenge overcome. Yes, you'll need to gather 3 key fragments to open the Indrik's door. Let's begin, and remember, if you lose your sight, there will always be more focal points at hand. Peer through the lens, reveal the wards, and claim the key fragment. This may seem a small step, but an incredible path waits before you. Indeed, Ulfsild gathered hundreds of tomes in her search for these tales. A small handful of her annotated volumes will be needed to find the Luminaries. Beyond the Indrik, you will seek them out in whatever order you choose. The lens shows the way Ulfsild saw it. Shades of how the Luminaries see it. Now, find the wards. Find 2 more wards to reveal the fragment. Once more. Find another focal point. Peer through the lens and break the wards to find the key fragment. The wards are gone, and the fragment revealed. The first key fragment is yours. Well done. You've taken to this well, your early steps to master scribing. But from here I must take my leave, return to the Scalarium. Ulfsild, I believe, wanted her inheritor to walk this path alone. Just as you did here, use the fable to find your way. Dispel the wards, and with key in hand, you should be able to open the door, and meet the Luminary Indrik face to face. He will likely ask you to prove yourself worthy of his power. I have a good feeling about you, Interloper. Altar Breaker. I have faith you can do it. Magnus guide you on your journey, and I'll see you back at the Scalarium. Just remember, you can always reference the Fable of the Indrik from your bag. Ulfsild's annotations will guide you on your journey. Find the wards, obtain the fragments, and soon you shall meet your first luminary of magic. Just remember, in your quest to meet other luminaries, I will not be around to act as a guide. The next set of wards lie within the ruins of Omdil. The third are on the eastern island of Buranim. Ulfsild's annotations make that clear. It lies on an island off the southwest coast of Oradon, atop a rise that now features a lighthouse beacon. You'll find it, Interloper, just as Ulfsild did, all those years ago. I'm not sure I can give you a simple answer to that question. Perhaps some of the luminaries can give you their perspective. My best guess? When you see magic the way they do, Your taste for the company of mortal mages might sour. That ruffles the feathers more than I intended. Think of it this way. Your average archmage is just a neophyte compared to the luminaries. I think these hidden keys are a way to dissuade, let's call them, casual questions.
Yeah.
Quickly, head to the barn.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting.
Seek the key fragment. Walk the path.
That was a bit of a warm-up.
Gather your feathers about you. The last fragment is within those ruins.
Yeah.
You've flown true. The Luminary Indrix door is close. Find the path to the top, and take the next step on your journey.
It has been many long years since a mortal entered my domain. And now here you are, following in Ulfsild's footsteps. Welcome to my domain, adventurer, bearer of my fable. I sense the power of the Scolarium within you. Your ink-stained hands have touched the altar's magic. I sensed too when Ulfsild's essence faded from this realm. After all these years, do you hope to be her inheritor? I sense potential. You hunger for power, much as Ulfsild did when she sought me out all those years ago. I will ask you the same question I asked her. Do you deserve this power? The power to edit grimoires, to rewrite magic? What confidence! You believe you have the wisdom to use my power. The power to maim or mend, to blast with flame or freeze with ice. We shall see. First, my door must open once again. Place the fable you carry with you upon the dais. A story is never just a story. It has the power to change from within and without. The fable of the Indrik acts as a symbolic connection, a commitment from me to you. Place the book and open the path. It's good to taste the ink of the Scolarium upon the air again. Power can mean many things. Its meaning may change with each new day, each turn of the season. Ulfsild learned this hard lesson when the Scolarium slipped away. If I am to teach you as I taught her, I must learn what power means to you. The scroll nearby details a series of challenges, expressions of power, both subtle and not. Choose two to complete, that I might know what power means to you. You do not know me yet, but I am no taskmaster. Power expressed against one's will is no power at all. Attempt only the challenges that appeal to you. When you are done, return, and we will take your next step together. Rest easy. I would not set you to task without cause. There is method to my mindset. In the meantime, you have many questions. Mortals always do. I would be disappointed if you did not. Scribing is an art esoteric, translating the very stuff of magic into mortal hands by luminary liaison. There's much you do not understand. Yet. To consider the meaning of power. Every being alive thinks they understand it. But how to gain power, or what power to gain, is not the crucial question. How should power be used? That is what drives me. Gladiators in a ring, the unquiet dead, a Daedric incursion, overlords reigning in the depths. They all possess the means to destroy, to control. I encourage you to see that power firsthand, and consider how you yourself would use it. The act of scribing is really quite simple. You focus your will, put ink to parchment, and scrawl your soul upon the page. You change the magic, and the magic changes you. Focus your intent, and fire becomes frost. Venom becomes shock. That was Ulfsild's choice. She spoke to other scholars of her time, her husband, her friends. But scribing was a path she walked alone. It was a choice I believe she came to regret in the end. If magic is a river, we are eddies in the current. We are not masters of the river, but we are a part of it. The river is us. We are the river. Each of us awakened in a different manner, time, and place. I am the oldest to choose my form, I believe. Why are you the way that you are? Why do you have smooth skin, 2 eyes, and walk upon 2 legs? You are what you were born to be, and I am the same. I was able to choose my shape, but there was no other shape I could have been. My pocket domain, shaped and hewn into being in the same way I chose my form. I find it a pleasant respite from the larger world. Other luminary domains may have been formed with different goals. Indeed, each of us formed a pocket realm as we were born. None of us could answer the question of why, if that has risen to the top of your mind. Each of us has an opinion, of course, but that's also in our very nature, it would seem. I think we are very alone, each of us. And Aetherius, in its wisdom, did not wish us to be both alone and wandering. This sense of isolation is something we each grapple with in our own way, as did Ulfsild, of course. Of course. Only partially. Scribing, even in its earliest incarnations, seemed destined to use a luminary's power. It was Ulfsild's idea to bind my domain to the Scalarium, which in turn led to great achievements and those beautiful doors. In Ulfsild's time, yes, it did. The strength of the luminaries, channeled into the very heart of the scribing altar, allowed for incredible feats. And may do so again, depending on how you fare. The noble beast whose shape I chose felt right at home among these falling petals and verdant greens. When I need a moment's peace, or to rid my mind of stray thoughts, I'm grateful that this was the space that formed around me.
Yeah.
Probably should be proud of that. Looks like you're buying at the...
Veiled Queen!
That one put up a fight, didn't they? Maybe I should have joined the buoyant armigers.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
The finest weapons in all the Dominion. Forged right here in Matisen. Hot off. Sure, I know Varador. Why, his mother's just over there by the targets.
I'm sorry, but I don't really feel like talking. I've been trying to find a quiet minute all day. I need to pray for my son. He's missing, you see.
He's what? No! Let me see that! I told him not to join those fools. Why didn't he listen?
He figured out the truth for himself in the end. I can be proud of my boy. That's not enough, but it'll have to do.
Zurka comes all the way from Dune. She has very lucrative business, one of the best merchants in elsewhere. And she can't get a single meeting with Kandalin or Melani. Simple. This one is a Khajiit. If she were some high elf hustler, she'd be getting the best deals and the best merchandise. But because this one has fur, a tail, all she gets is silence. Dark Moon. Dullclaw's busy. Zurka has been here a week. The only person who will talk to her is Ionis, and he's just an apprentice. This one will give them one more day. One. But at this point, no. Zurka needs nothing. She's just trying to open up trade. The Khajiit, the High Elves, we are allies now, yes? Oridon and Dune need each other.
The finest weapons in...
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Was that the last of them? Oh, thank
Yeah.
Well?
I can't believe this mess. Day train, Oridon. Never would have thought I'd see the day. Wonder if we'll get a pay raise for this. I'm more worried about getting out of here alone.
I was tired of walking anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well done, mortal. You have risen to the challenge. One task remains. If I am to lend you my strength, you must lend me yours. Power for power. A wrong righted, and another step on the path. My own. One day, as I enjoyed the sun upon my pelt, I beheld a hunter tracking an Indrik and her fawn. The hunter moved in to claim their prize, and the hind perished. The fawn leapt for freedom, and the hunter gave chase. I stepped in. I imbued the fawn with a wisp of my power, but in acting with haste, I acted unwisely. My power protected the fawn, true enough, but it gathered the hunter in its wake. Now predator and prey are trapped in a chase unending. I granted my power to a being that did not ask for it, and did not know how to use it. The height of arrogance. A vice I have been accused of on occasion. Use the lens, find their trail, and release these poor souls from my power without focus. Seek the fawn and the hunter in a southern Auridon cavern. Del's Claim, I believe it is called today. Restore this ill-used power, and I will lend my strength to yours. A signpost on your path to master scribing. Of course, this chase has been running for some time now. Another moment to clarify your mind, improve your focus, will not hurt. I was already old when Ulfsild and I first spoke, centuries ago. I have lived the length of many mortal lives. To see such a young, beautiful creature on the verge of oblivion, I acted without thinking. A mistake in the end. Truth is a form of power, mortal. And the truth is that I have made poor decisions, just as you have. One of the things that binds us together, I suppose. The gods want us to learn by doing, and failure is a very instructive teacher.
Pointless. 10 anchors drop for each
should fetch a fair fetching.
Come now, little fawn. You cannot run forever. No quarry can escape me. Hounds after it. Quite the challenge, little fawn. For my collection. Thicken!
Do you want to grab that, or should I?
Take my soul. My power overwhelms the fawn. A ward of that power now binds it. Dispel the ward. both of you in my domain, then. I will grant my promised power to the one that sought it, and offer safe harbor to the one that did not. The fawn is safe. My strength returned. And you have had a moment, I hope, to reflect on power and its wise application. Now, as with Ulfsil before you, I offer you the Sigil of the Indrik. You will take it to the altar and imbue my strength within. The power I pass to you will infuse every drop of ink, every sheet of parchment, each whorl and dot upon the page. Until now, your mastery of the art was limited. With my support, your horizon expands. So too, the vision of your allies. I will ensure their efforts to explore and chronicle the contents of the Scalarium meet with success. Your knight has returned, with allies at her side. But that can wait. Mortal, fable-bearer, friend, accept my gift to you, the power of a luminary of magic. You have completed my trials. You have shown wisdom in the use of your power. Take my sigil. Join in essence with the altar, and let the ink flow once again. With the sigil in hand, you need merely return to the altar. You will see, you will feel its power unfold, and know that you have taken another step on the path of scribing.
I can sense the power of the Indrik within you. You are one step closer to unlocking the potential.
If you are seeing this, Scroll has set you on the path to learn the art of scribing. A world of magic awaits you. I've left behind another sort of guide, the True Sight Lens. Seek it out in the East Wing. The lens and the fables are signposts to seek the luminaries.
You don't see that every day. Nana's going to want to hear about this.
Good to see you again. You'll find her over in the East Wing with our newest arrival.
There you are. I wanted to introduce you. This is Chronicler Ferandil.
Good to meet you. Nolia and I have been touring the library and I've already found, well, some terribly surprising things.
Ferandil is a chronicler, one of the best the guild has to offer. You two talk a moment, and then we can discuss what comes next.
Chronicler Ferandil, at your service. Chronicler of tomes, scrolls, scripts, and otherworldly delights. I'm glad that I was able to make the trip. I think you'll find my skills quite valuable on this most unexpected expedition. I've been tasked with facilitating this lost art form you've rediscovered. Scribing. How novel. As I understand it, you will be contacting and convincing these luminary creatures, empowering the altar and all that. I'll scour the complex for grimoires and scripts. I've already found quite a few, aided, perhaps, by that... what's his name? Indrik chap. I've never been led by a faun to a trove of ancient secrets before, but it was an exciting experience. Don't worry, I will do my very, very best to ensure I have what you're looking for. I take my role as chronicler for this expedition quite seriously. But of course you do. Ask away, my new friend. Happy to help in any way I can. I believe so, yes. I have a good imagination. You can ask anyone. But I can think of few other reasons for an Indrik faun to be traipsing about the depths of an ancient library carved from a Somerset island. I most certainly hope so. This place is massive, and any assistance they might put forward would be deeply appreciated. You can tell them that Chronicler Ferandil said so when you speak to them. In the Great Mages Guild hierarchy, it's a bit of an informal title. It's passed around by a few adepts, like myself, with a penchant for the identification and illumination of ancient secrets. Isn't it beautiful down here? Just exquisite chisel work on the walls. When the votary here described this place, well, I just had to come along. And I'm so very glad I did.
It's good to be back. I know it took some time to get us all down here. Apologies. Archmage Galarian and the Votary Commander needed significant convincing to turn this into a full-fledged expedition. How did it go with the crow? You just continue to impress again and again. With the luminary strength added to the altar, who knows what you'll be able to accomplish? As you might imagine, Guild leadership is very interested in the art of scribing. For the duration, you have more luminaries to find, this complex needs to be explored, and the secrets of scribing are just waiting to be teased from the past. What about you, friend? This expedition would be nothing without you. Magnus be praised. We've secured supplies for a full-fledged expedition, you've allied with your first luminary, and the altar surges with new power. Not bad for a day's work. What happens next is up to you, be it griffin, netch, or dragon. We've gathered the fables in the main hall. If you have any questions, let me know. Except for what's beyond the unmarked door. We do not. Julian and I have already begun speculating, based on some early hints. Our best guess? It's Ulfsild's private study. But I suppose we'll find out, won't we? I did, and she was a bit cryptic. I mean, especially cryptic. Sometimes it's hard to tell with a magical talking crow, but she seemed like she didn't want to talk about it. You mean Ferandil? I reached out to him while I was waiting for the Votary Commander to decide what she wanted me to do. I've worked with him in the past, and he's... unusual. But he's the best at what he does. Absolutely. We're relying on him to help us understand what's useful, what's valuable, and what's just scrap paper. He told me the altar is already vibrating along his transmutational axis. I have no idea what that means, but I think it's good. Ferandil has this way of getting his hands on things you wouldn't expect. Like, he's got a sixth sense about ancient relics and magic. Basically, he's a treasure hunter and merchant, but he's extremely reliable.
found whatever this is. It's not the Fable of the Netch, as I recall it.
Nevertheless, an entertaining read. I quite enjoyed the Netch bosom.
I am occasionally fond of the Netch's levity. However, if you are short on patience for playful antics, you may find this a difficult trial. Worth it, I think, on your path to master scribing. A prank, no doubt. The Netch is known for pranks and tricks. It enjoys wandering invisibly, causing mischief and spreading what it considers to be joy. The Netch almost certainly traded out the Scalarium's fable for one of its authorship. I think it likely the Netch will reveal some sign to you. It delights in showing off its cleverness. Nalia and I discovered an echo in the West Wing that should relate to the Netch. I'm sure whatever you learn there will be most instructive. I hope nothing else has been tampered with. There's already so much wrong in the Scalarium. So much that didn't stand the test of time. A vain, jovial, and generous being. It approaches life's solemn moments as an opportunity for new ways to demonstrate its wit and whimsy. The Netch and Ulfsild got along famously well, but I find it to be a little much. It enjoys being the center of attention, its tendrils ever-reaching forevermore. Ruffles my feathers a bit. Its actions will seem enigmatic, even esoteric, but it really does mean well. I think.
Aha!
What in Ifre's name? Is that a squirrel? Hey there! I thought you could use some help tracking down the fable. It seems like this Netch has a very distinct sense of humor. I'm willing to play along for now if you are. The Netch is a trickster, but it's also proud of its wit. Getting the upper hand with someone like that is simple. Flatter them. Reminds me of a Covenant knight I once met who tried all night to get my attention. But that's a story for another day. I think we do just as they did in the fable. Here, allow me. Oh, great and glorious Netch! Your cleverness exceeds us! We beseech your aid in finding your true fable. Guide us to your Netchy bosom. Make our lofty dreams come true! I think it worked. Quick, follow them!
Good heavens, I say!
Aha! You found it! The true fable! Not as good as my version, of course.
Any luck finding the real fable? Let me look. Here, this part about the river settlement. I bet anything that's Bulmera. Lovely place. There's a big river running through the middle of town. Sounds like it was even bigger back when the fable was written.
My accommodations here are somewhat less... books and grimoires. I have them, and you can...
Something keeps tugging on my robes, like a child playing a game. But no one's there. It's the Netch, isn't it? This blob of yours is testing my patience. Let me see. This bit at the end that mentions Azura's coast. I bet it's referring to Sadrith Mora and Tel Galen. Just plot a course between those two towers, and I bet you'll find the door. That's what you're looking for, right?
Well, more tricks? Or did you find the real fable of the Netch? The real fable? Of course. I remember it well. Let's see. There was mention of the Zainab, yes? The ruins you seek are called Nchuleft. Be sure not to fall like the Ashlander in the story. The Netch may not see fit to catch you.
There are so many awe-inspiring creatures whose shape this luminary might have taken. Indrik, dragon, griffin, and yet it's a Netch. It's rather silly, but perhaps that's the entire point. Let's see... Ah! Right at the top here. The Daedric Ruins. I don't know the name, but they're on an island southeast of Voss. If only the place was still full of chickens like the fable says.
Wait to take a load off at the inn.
kinda busy right now.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Some people don't like the bustle of cities, but I come from a big family, so it reminds me of home.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Just outside the house. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
In a big family, you have to know how to scrap.
Welcome to my little grotto. Drink it in. You found the netch. I hope I live up to expectations. Behold, my beauty, my splendor. A gift to you, not Ulfsild. You have worked hard to find me. I know why, of course. I always know why. Confirm for me, please. Ulfsild is gone, yes? She said that might happen. I hoped she was mistaken. She often was. Well, no Ulfsild, no problem, not Ulfsild. You have a naturally buoyant spirit, I can tell. This will be an effervescent experience. Let us begin. Let's open the door to my domain and let some of my beauty, my majesty, into the Scalarium. Place the fable on the dais. Yes, the original fable. Not the new and enhanced version I wrote. That one won't work, unfortunately. Aha! Such a remarkable way of setting books down. Very deliberate. I'm supposed to test you. But tests are weighty, not good for floating. I prefer games. Easier to win and just as easy to prove how clever you are. Oh, listen to me, droning on like the dragon. Anyway, I have some games for us to play. The kind of games that make people feel lighter. Games that show how buoyant life can be. There are many who need the help of my benevolent and loving tendrils. Oh, anything to take the weight off the shoulders. Health, or happiness, or even money. Ulfsild tried to explain money to me. It sounded depressing, but apparently people quite like it. I have a list of helpful games for you to play. You must traverse the land in search of 7 orbs. Only with orbs in hand, when the warrior is high in the night sky, can you wish? I kid, they're right here. Only complete those that make you feel the most buoyant. I'll handle the rest. Let us see what you make of my little games. The best games are ones that others don't know they're playing. Makes for much more bubbly responses when they discover the joyful tricks we played on them. Oh, of course you do not, Ulfsild. How can you be more buoyant? Why do you have no tendrils when I was blessed with so many? Why bother with the other luminaries when I am right here? I cannot answer all of life's mysteries for you, but I will try. Ah, there was a truly boundless soul. Ulfsild was a most bubbly companion. Joyous, ebullient, witty. She was clever and taught me many things. Very netchy. I wonder if she had some netch ancestry. Oh, many things. She had a distinct lack of tendrils. It was very memorable. Her familiar, the crow, was almost as memorable. And she had that, oh, what's the word? The bearded creature she was fond of. Chalice something? Chalice boring, maybe? How should I know? I only met him once, and he was not buoyant at all. Ulfsild spent much of her time here, free of him. I always thought she floated much higher on her own. She would have made a great netch. Scribing is buoyancy of the mind, floating in your soul, lift within your very skills and spells. I find the idea of everyone doing something all the same way not just boring, but dreadfully tragic. have your tendrils twisted on that. Ulfsild was the one who taught me. Though I shared my views and opinions with her, as I am happy to do with you, but we luminaries learned as much from the Archmage as she learned from us. Generally, far too dull for my tastes. Somber. Heavy. But I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Offering knowledge keeps me buoyant. So serious, so old, so focused. Too focused for me. I prefer to let the winds carry me where they will. The Indrik wishes we made sense, but we don't. So why let your tendrils get tangled up about it? My perfect form does not have eyes, not Ulfsild. But I want you to imagine I have them. Now imagine I am rolling them. She thinks herself oh so clever, but ignores even simple truths when they are right in front of her snout. A heavy soul, but I think he means well. Over the years, he's lost sight of what he truly wants. You might say his vision of justice is somewhat frozen. A bit iced over. Oh, right. You don't get that joke yet. That will be funny later. Oh, of course you do not, Ulfsild. How can you be more buoyant? Why do you have no tendrils when I was blessed with so many? Why bother with the other luminaries when I am right here? I cannot answer all of life's mysteries for you, but I will try. Picture it. A wizened scholar traces arcane runes across a detailed summoning. I'm kidding. My birth was an accident of magic and deeply boring. It is why I try to stay so joyous and floaty. Existence is what you make of it, not Ulfsild. Is it not obvious? I mean, look at me. I am exceedingly buoyant, perfectly voluptuous. Oh, I see. You too hope to one day have a perfect form. Well, continue your studies, not Ulfsild. Someday you might ascend your imperfect vessel.